Okay, all right. So you guys witnessed all the whipsaw and stuff. Um, Spontaneous, jumping in outside of proper times, losing sight of the actual model. My model is the s15 5010. But silver bullet, that was the original thing that I've always had. So basically, I'm waiting for the silver bullet to form. I am mapping out the X AMD or AMD X. I'm mapping that out as the time is approaching. Just see the cycles and how they're rolling. But then I'm supposed to be looking for. Let's go into it now. So right here, waiting for the silver bullet to form would have cut down the losses. Remember your model plan. This is what happens sometimes when you get overzealous, and you just stop following rules. You lose track of what's going on, what you're supposed to be doing. This is also what happens when you don't have your trading plan up on your desk. I didn't have it up, and I'm gonna tape it up in a little bit. To remind you, and like Tanya Trades has, she has appeared at 15. Well, I think it was at 10 o'clock or 10:15. She does a check, mental check. You don't have those things in place. You could copy off of other people who are successful, the things that they're doing to keep themselves successful. You can, copy those things. I've been meaning to do that. To have the phone when I'm trading, to have that 10:15 or so check to see the mental game, make sure you're good, take a breath, think clearly, step back, look at everything. So anyway, we have here, I'm dropped down to the 15, but let's go back to the 5. All right, so what we have here, the silver bullet it's important to know dealing ranges. So right here, over here. Okay, so right here, I had first off, I did see that NQ was the weaker one. We had, over here we had this high, and then a higher high. Then over here we had a high and a lower high. So this was the one to short, and so I was on the proper one for shorting, but of course I was going both ways. But anyway, back to looking at what the proper thing was supposed to be done. So we have here where price dropped down, taking out these lows here, all of this consolidation here. So lows were taken here, okay, at 820. Price runs up and takes out a high. So from here to here, this is a dealing range. Okay, from here to here, we have this side here, took out lows here, and took out body wise some here. That matters to me. I've noticed that. It actually took out this low here too. I didn't realize that till just now. Then price came up and took out this high here, the start of this move here, this is the 8:30 news. So 8:30 news, price ran down, came all the way back up, took out the high here, and then this is the time right here, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock starts the seeking out of of the silver bullet fair value gaps. The only thing that gets confusing sometimes is is looking at the fair value gaps, because the fair value gap, Michael was taught, doesn't have to have been formed after 10. It can be a fair value gap after that, before 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock comes. But we have a range here. We have a dealing range that was formed that had completed its formation at 10. So with that, we see now we look and see how price is working within that range. So within that range, we see over here there are, let me make it look clearer. So within this range from here to here, we see there are no fair value gaps formed. No fair value gaps formed. Not even inversion fair value gaps. No fair value gap were formed at all leading up this area here. And then 10 o'clock comes and we have this high taken, this low taken, and the low over here taken. I've also seen it come down to here and reached for 4 but didn't. Pulled up, came up, and then came down, and this is the fair value gap that was finally formed right here. This is what I'm calling the silver bullet fair value gap right here. Price came way up above, and there is no fair value gaps all in here. This big fair value gap here, one could say, hey, this is a fair value gap that could have been formed, but I'm choosing this range here because this fair value gap, this high that's here, it did take a high here. It did do that, but 10 o'clock came, a new high was formed, taking out the structure, creating the new dealing range here to here. So that dealing range is the one that I'm going to work with. But even if we were to do a fair value gap here, this fair value gap would be considered an inversion fair value gap. I mean, that's what this one is too, an inversion fair value gap. But yeah, this is the one, and we would expect price to respect and then drop. It did not. It went above it, then came down below it, and then took it. Yeah, and then came and respected it and dropped as an inversion fair value gap. So, well, actually, nope. This would be considered. My bad. Would be considered this one here, the green one. My bad. The green one would be an inversion. Price never came back up to it. But this is actually would be possibly called a reclaimed fair value gap, or it's just now acting as what it's supposed to really be acted as, a fair value gap. So that rejects. The down close fair value gaps, you expect price to come up, respect it, and it drop. The up closes here to here. The up close, you expect price to come down and respect and go up. Price just it created this and immediately came down and then ran away. During the silver bullet time, 10 to 11, and this fair value gap was respected after it returned back in and then ran. And then so basically waiting for 10 o'clock to come, any of those losses prior to that would have never happened. 10 o'clock came. Now let's say if I was waiting for this here, the fair value gap, price dropped below it here. Okay, 10 o'clock, I'm gonna go about 10 o'clock. This is a fair value gap here. 10 o'clock comes, price comes and comes outside of the fair value gap all the way over here, comes back in, and we know that it could come all the way up to the top of it. And price actually does come all the way up to that point. It can, and this is where if I was using this one, okay, 10 o'clock, and it came down out of it, returned back in, I could have had a fib pulled, and I could have waited for the middle, could have waited for 3/4, whatever. This is where probably some back and forth could have happened if I was using this one. But again, this was a new dealing range that was created at 10 o'clock, and that's the one. So this fair value gap here is the one I would have worked with. As price was coming up, let's drop over here and see s15 and see if I would have got caught up in that. Okay, so alright, so this here is the first. This is, it comes down and comes into here. So all in here is where I could have probably gotten cut up in, could have got chopped up, but that depends on the time, like when the sessions, when the session starts. This is the 10 o'clock here. So let's see, 30. I'm just gonna start from 30. Okay. So 30, we see that, yeah, this would not have been, I probably more than likely would not have gotten caught up, because when I go to 30, okay, there, 30 would have been the start of the next session, and 34, 45 is there, yeah, okay, so this here would have been, considered accumulation. This here would have been manipulation, and it would have been staying right around here. This would have been distribution, and I'm learning now that a lot of times the distribution period will be doing the false move. So this would have been distribution. So technically speaking, I could have actually gotten chopped up. Not if I would have followed from from here down. From here down, this is a discount, so you don't want to shorten the discount. So if you follow the rules of not trading in the rules of not trading, shorting in a discount, you want to short in the premium, then I would have been rescued from here, because this would have been accumulation, this would have been manipulation, and then approaching the distribution period. If I would have shorted here, which I would have been looking for shorts, because this was the the 5-minute fair value gap. So should have been a part of this here, and so yeah, I would have been looking to short, and if I would have shorted, I would have probably thought to put it like somewhere over here within this here, so I could have got stopped out here. But again, if I would have saw that it was a discount, I would have waited, and price would have come up and out, and I would have been, at this point, I just surely would have been waiting for price to come back in. So I'm also learning patterns where the distribution is going into to do a total soup, or running, the distribution is running the fake move, the false move up or down. If price is coming down, distribution can run that way first, fake out, and then so this was accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then X, it was the reversal, and then X, and so it switched over from AMDX to XAMD, and also 50. So the 50 time started as well. So that shift in the direction occurred at 50, and the new cycle started at 50, of course, and it did an X, AMD, which is a shift from AMDX. So this was nice here. The price comes down, breaks below, gave an X, accumulation, and then looking at the range of X, which was from here to here, it actually came out below and came up, and and manipulated around that last quarter area, and then it accumulated right there, and then distribution, boom, and actually, yeah, this is what I want to see. where the range from A accumulation had already pulled back into more than half, made this little M right here, and then pulled away. So right here, accumulating right at that area here, I would have dropped a won't give it to me. So anyway, yeah, so I could have got in here, you know, this is the range. It came back within above half. It did create this area where price came up above and manipulated above it, this little move here above it, and then drop down, and there goes a fair value gap right there. This would have been an entry for me here. Stop loss would have been over here. Yeah, so this right here is where, you know, I would have got in there and took a risk here. Again, if I would have forgot about the discount, it already pulled back, and now you will say, oh wait, look what you're doing, you're shorting in a discount. This move, this is the trigger here for the drop. This is the trigger for the drop. Price came into the discount, came into premium, and then it's dropped down and is making its final launch off there. And so this, even though this is shorting in a discount, it's after the fact, after this pull, after this move had already came back and dropped down, and this is like a final run pull here. So that's what that is. So you know, in the end, that would have been a win. Waiting for 10 o'clock and waiting for price to come back into the discount, and then you know, taking it after it came back into it. Even in this area here, where price came back into this here, but this would have been the stronger one because that's rejecting off of the it's a rejection off of the silver bullet 5-minute fair value gap. All right, that's it. All right, later.